Time you going on it? You ever seen anyone tell them the orange and the blue? They walk in. Do you know something? What his lefty cells are drawing the back. So his lefty cells are drawing the back. So he's got to draw. He's got to keep his third wheel on the green.
Unless it comes off the back.
Let's see what Jordan's doing. Right the handball.
I missed on which was the lead of it. Oh, it was Marika.
Good afternoon and welcome back to live coverage of the 2025 Bowl Scotland National Championships from the National Centre for Bowling in Ayr. Plenty of action still to come this week on the Bowl Scotland YouTube channel, Facebook page as well. The next live match is a Gents Singles first round tie. It's Iain McLean of Blackwood Victoria who's looking to win this tournament for a record fourth time. That's Stephen McLellan who's drawn against him from Wellington Park. The picture of the five greens in action in Ayr has been a thing of beauty today. The matches on Green A, which we're about to watch, have been delayed by a moment or two. The previous singles tie having gone to the wire. But it's Blackwood Victoria against Wellington Park. We await the players and their trial ends, and then we'll get underway for more coverage later on today. We'll have a ladies singles first round tie. Leslie Doig against Emma Mitchell. That will be a terrific contest as well. Colin will be beside me this afternoon, and well, a little bit of history could be made in this tournament with Iain McLean.
Yeah, good afternoon, Paul. Good afternoon, everyone. Iain has an enviable record here at Northfield. We were just chatting just off air there, and sources to be confirmed, but our understanding is that Iain's been here 4 times in the singles and won it 3 times, this being his 5th, of course. So you're right, an opportunity to make some history. And we were chatting about who some of the best singles players were that we've perhaps ever seen during the last commentary, and Iain's name cropped up certainly as a prolific winner here at Northfield. So I really hope we haven't put the hex on him for this one, but we're looking forward to a really good contest between 2 quality players.
And very little to lose for Stephen McLellan. He will not be expected to win this one given the fact that it is a 3-time champion, Iain McLean. So the best way to approach it is just go out, enjoy it and see what you can do. Both trial ends to come. We'll let you watch those and we'll join you when the match gets underway. Well, no waiting around from Iain McLean. Brings the mat up. So underway, first to 21 shots here at the National Centre for Bowling in here at Northfield. Iain McLean of Blackwood Victoria. It's blue balls and the blue stickers for Stephen McLellan. Not happy with himself. It's only ball number 2.
No, but he's quite tough on himself.
Line, and he has pushed it. Not a bad effort.
It's finished in a good place, but still room for Iain to add another. He's just pushed through that one. Looking to come on the inside track, potentially pick Iain's ball out or the jack, and yeah, got the jack to the side, so
that's a nice result.
a camera angle would suggest the blue ball, but Iain will have a quick look and confirm.
One blue.
One blue, yeah. Nice conversion from Stephen, give himself a chance down the forehand side to pick the jack up clean into the ditch for 2. Could have picked Iain's ball out, but in the end he sliced it to the side and yielded the count of 1, so he'll be happy to get off the mark.
He's got off to a very positive start, this will relax him.
Yeah, as after a couple of shaky bowls in the first two deliveries in the other direction. But certainly asking the question of Iain early on. Just seemed to stick on the outside. You'd have expected it to come down, having watched the hand, but anyway, Stephen just needs to drop inside the green. Just his weight let him down. Very quickly. Stephen back on a nice line. Might just frame this one.
Well, there's a nice little target.
Yeah, I think Iain may change onto the backhand side and go quick. Chance of the two balls, chance to kill the end even.
Here's the runner looking to deep
He's got one
inside. Knocked that across. Might have actually got a good result here.
This is where the camera angle can be very deceiving on this one. Yeah, one to Iain.
Both players making impacts with their final balls. End.
Yeah, much more aggressive style of play from Iain and Stephen, so that makes the game a little bit more exciting for us to watch. Breeze just starting to pick up in the background that'll be directly into the players' faces, so that will mean in this direction, and the weight is slightly different, just a little bit heavier.
Arguably, both players have opened up on the better side of the rink. Nice looking line again. Also out in a decent line, just needs to push it, that's all that's wrong. Nicely done. Bit of a wall of bowls there for Stephen to play into. Yeah, as he likes to go quick. Well, there's three there, he misses sadly on the other side.
sure Iain will just try and tuck this jack round the corner. And if he fails, he goes to a good home and may even count another shot. Pulled his hand away from that very, very quickly, and you can see he's missed the line.
He's at least come through a little. Let's see. Shot really hasn't changed.
He's in the target area this time. Oh, he's been very unlucky, only taking one out.
Again, from his perspective, at least he made part of the shot. Defending champion beat Graham Hume in the final last year. When we mentioned he's going for a record 4th title, it's hard to get here 4 times, let alone win 4 times. Bear in mind you're up against all the other district champions.
Yeah, that's very true, Paul. Iain's also coming out of a strong district,
Yeah.
you know, so to come out of your district that many times in singles is impressive in itself. But his record once he gets here is quite incredible.
You think the bowlers of Lanarkshire might do a GoFundMe just to get them out the county, move them somewhere else out the district. Again, very consistent.
Really good lines, just needs that minor adjustment on weight. Body language says there's something wrong with this.
That was a good bad ball.
Yeah, it could have been worse. Stephen, can you make the adjustment this time? Closer. Well, you won't be unhappy with that, because that's a good second and maybe gives him something to play with his next delivery. That won't look good for Iain. There's definitely room either side, but the safer shot is to change onto the ditch side. All about running. And just pulling up a little bit shy. Just have sent this out on the wide line. As you can see, it's come back to the middle, but the same weight as his first 3 balls. Iain takes the single and moves into a 4-1 lead.
Both players have opened up well. And it's the experienced player who's building an early lead.
From Iain. Can he stay? Can he stay around? Just overplayed it. So nice chance for Stephen to beat his previous delivery. Anywhere just in front of that green ball is a good one. Yeah, well done. Well played.
It's got a bar in it.
Jogging after this one.
Just running through. I think the thing when you're playing Iain McLean, you know nothing. I mean, nothing is safe.
No, there's still lots of room in there. I know they look reasonably close, but you know, there's plenty of room to add a shot. That one won't help Iain's cause though, because I feel that's right in his line. Doesn't have a great attacking option on either, because he can't afford really to lift his own green one out. You see, that's maybe what he's looking at. He's looking at the consequence, perhaps, if he does lift the green one out. Is he one worse? Is he any worse? So if he's considering weight, then two choices. Probably arrive really quick on the backhand, blue ball onto Jack to burn it, or down the forehand and try and promote his own green ball. It's not quite settled, so choosing the forehand.
Does not want that blue ball, wants to drop inside.
He's very close here, Paul. Oh, well, maximum result really. You could see what he was looking for. He was just hoping to be outside his own green ball and move the jack through the head. But as it is, he's got just a feather off the front one and he's fallen in for the shot. He's not left Stephen with much either, because as you can see, any movement on the jack is a bad movement. So I think this might just be a draw. Wow.
Well, he's going for it. Let's see what this does. Up in the air it goes, burnt end.
Dead end. Of course, that was an option for him.
Well, I liked it because it was full of risk, and he's quite prepared to have a go. I'm not sure about you, Colin, but I think if Stephen McLellan is going to win this game today, he's going to have to just take a few calculated risks, not reckless.
Yeah, I don't think that was reckless, to be honest.
No, I agree.
I probably just missed the option in terms of calling the shot, but yeah, I think what you're seeing is a much more aggressive style of game from both players. So there was little risk, I think, for Stephen taking his own balls out and losing more. The biggest risk was the shot I called, which was playing with it with kind of what I would call middle of the road weight and moving the jack to the back of the rink and losing 3. So, yep, good shot choice. Start again. Stephen just asking about the length of the jack. Seems to be quite comfortable, so on we go. That's the first time he's missed short with his opening ball. He has been getting them in and behind. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think his first 2 balls are vitally important in this match, and you can see well Iain missed his first one potentially by a yard behind. He's recovered really well. Stephen also looks like he's recovered on his first one. Just needs to run a touch though. Iain will quite like where that blue one's sitting, because it's protecting the hand, and it stops Stephen just playing up to Iain's ball. So free draw on the other side. Just left it up the green a bit. The other side, just trying to navigate away around the front ball. As long as he's nice weight, he won't do any terrible damage, and there you have it.
Stephen just moving that blue one, just allowed the curl in.
I wonder if he'll go big again. Yep, he has.
Doesn't have much at the back, that would be the only.
Yeah, I think he was looking for the kill though. I think at that pace, rarely are you looking to move it into the ditch. I think you're looking for the kill. So he missed it on the wide side. He'll be disappointed because that's quite a wide target for him.
Iain McLean, Commonwealth Games singles player for Scotland back at the 2022 Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, or as where the bowls were played, Royal Leamington Spa. Bronze medalist. Beat Malaysia in that bronze medal match. I know you're a big fan of the delivery of Iain McLean. Tell us why.
It's just smooth, and very transferable indoor to out. He delivers from a very solid base. His pre-delivery routine is excellent. You can see, Iain's feet lined up in the direction that he wants to deliver the ball, and I know the balls have a bias and you throw them out, but actually you should deliver every ball straight. It's your setup that dictates, the line. He's smooth back, head up, eyes on the line. It's pretty much textbook, to be honest.
I'll take that. I mean, if you were to overlay his delivery, say 100 times, you would see very little movement.
Yeah, it's from a solid base. His balance is excellent. There's no snatch on delivery. It's kind of straight, clean through, and very, it's about repeatability at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And if you can repeat, it's a bit, compare it to a golf swing, I guess, couldn't you? It's all about that repeatability. Trust the delivery.
Line one. His hand steadied on the knee for balance. Feet consistent position. Sometimes does spring off the mat.
Yeah, he's got that body movement through delivery, and that's typical of what I call northern hemisphere deliveries, where the greens are a little bit slower than they might be in the southern hemisphere. So that body movement is always there. You look at some of the greats in terms of their deliveries, and people like Willie Wood, Paul Foster, Alex Marshall. There's always a degree of body movement flowing through the delivery, and Iain is no different to that. It's an opportunity for Stephen. He needs to clear the front, though.
He hasn't.
No, he hasn't.
I'm not sure there's been any other damage, but he was trying to come to the ball to the left of your screen. And while he might be restricting Iain McLean to singles or twos, the problem is he is losing shots.
Yeah, I feel he has to take those opportunities when they're presented to him. Not just playing against Iain in particular. It's anybody really. If you get that opportunity, I think you've got to punish the first ball when it's a yard short and step in. Stephen's not just doing that at the minute, but if he can get that rhythm into his first two balls, then we're in for a good contest.
Another strong opening ball setting the platform. And that's better from Stephen. The first ball behind. It's narrow.
It'll go very quickly.
I have to say it held a little bit more than I thought it might.
Yeah, perhaps.
come round, does so beautifully positioned.
Yeah, played it well. Stephen's given this a little bit more on the line, but still not enough. Barely the length too.
Past that.
Oh. May still only be 2, but I think the way this is shaping up for another quick one. Pushed it wide.
Yeah, comes all the way through. And again, that'll disappoint him because there was a lovely marker to come through there.
Definitely had to be inside the front one, but 2 shots and Iain moves on to lead 9 shots to 1.
If you exclude the burnt end, he's won the last 6 ends. The other genius note to Iain's plan is you don't have a great deal of kicking the balls back. It just keeps the battle.
There's a bit of a grimace out of the hand with the jack there, so I'm not quite sure what that was for.
This is hard to play against, isn't it?
Well, it is, because Iain kind of commands that respect on the green, but he's actually given Stephen, room on several occasions, and unfortunately he's just not been able to take those chances. It's not as if Iain's kind of nailing the jack with his first bowl every time. He is given a little bit of room. Now it might not look much on the screen, but at this level, these are the chances you have to take.
Come in behind, still to count, still be fairly close, but I think you'll want one in behind here.
Yeah, he might do, or he might just try and change the shape of the head.
No, do it yourself before your opponent does it. Let's see where he goes.
Quite not going deep anyway, that's for sure. Yeah, well, this won't be short. Still on the tight side. Choice for Iain now. He does either go deep or he simply draws another.
Again, I think it's all about where you are in the game. You're 9-1 up. You're almost there. Draw another. You're saying to your opponent, right, I'm 13-1 up unless you can do something. Again, it'd be really interesting to see what he does here. A more conservative shot is cover. The aggressive shot is to come round the back.
Nice play, player.
He's weighted up, he sees what his opponent's going to do.
Yeah, yes, look, he's also showed Stephen a bit of respect there, right? Because there's every chance he'll get this, and
Yeah.
he has. It's about contacts now, so he's killed it again. That Jack's going to have a sore head by the end of this game.
I think it'll tag out.
Yeah, you feel Stephen needed that. He's had a couple of strikes the last few ends, and he's missed his mark by quite some distance. So to contact that one will help him. Keeps the score at 9-1.
Well, it's good to see him embracing the challenge. He'd be absolutely thrilled to get here. Probably was less thrilled when he saw the draw, but give it some thought. You think, okay, if I'm going to go, let's take on the best.
I mean, I think on a personal level, if it was me, I think I would rather play him in the first round. You know, when he's not got momentum behind him. It's often the best time when you know it's like any sport, Paul, isn't it? You see some of what you call the big seeds in competitions tumbling in the first round, and usually as tournaments go on, they gather a bit of momentum. It's no different in this game.
Oh, there's an opening here.
I think he's just missed the line again. It's holding a long way, to be fair. Once again, a chance for Stephen. Better line. Can he hold? Well, I think he's probably made the shot with that. On blue.
Trusting himself to make the change from his last.
If his weight's good, he'll come most of this. Yeah, just didn't drop enough. He just overplayed the line. I think the blue ball may have fallen out, has it?
It certainly moved. I was trying to have a look.
I don't think it changed the shape of it, but it's probably still one to blue.
He's under. Doesn't want to touch
Just give
that.
the shot away.
Well, the only danger there was being tight. Yeah, that's what he was.
Well, so one conceded. Ian's left that second one in. Yeah, two conceded.
Well, I would contend, and bearing in mind the level that Ian plays at, that was one of his weaker ends. He emerges with a 2, moves into double figures, and he did hand a little chance to Stephen McLellan.
Yeah, I said last end, the last few ends, I think the chances have been there. You know, the opportunity. You know, Ian's a couple of times missed his first bowl, and by that I mean he's not really been within that characteristic, you know, foot or so of the jack. But unfortunately, Stephen hasn't been able to match that up.
Lots of action across the 5 greens here at Ayr this afternoon. But a fair number of folks have settled on the Gents Singles here on green 8.
Can you grab the jack, Stephen? Yes, you can. Well played.
Little spring in your step, and his opponent still has 2 to play.
This is where you hope and pray that Iain fails and you have the opportunity to add a third.
Second shot.
Stephen makes a switch. Slightly heavier side. How have you coped with that? Very well.
Oh, he's done that nicely.
Yeah, the edge, you know, helped him a little, but I think his weight was good anyway. You'd imagine Iain will maintain the forehand side, the left hand side as you look. Try and either promote his own or drop inside to contact the blue ball or the jack and make the shot. That's all about weight, and I don't think he's delivered it. Yeah, very uncharacteristic, but a nice opportunity now for Stephen to play down the ditch side and add a third shot.
Comes.
Very good, I think. Or has he said?
I think he just
Gosh,
stopped, didn't he?
That looked good a long way out.
Yep, stopped dead. Still, he'll be happy with the pick-up and the opportunity to set the jack length. I'm surprised it's gone long, but has it stayed in? The answer, no. So often the way, Colin, isn't it? You've done the hard work, you've got the jack, you're thinking, right, I need to get this full length, I need to change, and bang, you pop it in the ditch.
Yeah, this will go back to Iain's favoured length in this direction, which has generally been quite short.
On the indoor greens, of course, certainly in the television, you know, they have the marks in between to allow the marker to move the jack into the middle. And what we need here is lasers. So as soon as the jack's been delivered, laser light comes on, you just move it across.
Yeah, or you deploy what they do in Australia and New Zealand, and they use a chalk line up the middle. So it's dots on the carpet indoor. But a chalk line is what I've seen them use in the southern hemisphere. So they stretch, they use a rope,
Right.
that is chalked, and they'll hold it the length, straighten it all up, and then actually kind of ping it onto the ground, and it leaves a straight line chalk mark up the middle of the rink.
I'd say my laser idea is slightly more
I
exciting.
think it's much more technologically advanced, I'll give you that.
Could be Elon Musk's next big thing.
Maybe patent that straight away if I were you.
Yep. Oh man, finding no trouble finding centre rink at the moment is Iain McLean from Blackwood Victoria. It's like a little catch here if he's up.
It's a decent reply. Yeah, he's played it well.
Well done.
Played Stephen. Iain will just look to arrive on that. Same side. Crack an egg on the ball. Should yield the shot just at the back.
Smoothly away, just wants the nudge if he's up.
I think he's just shy. He knows he can't be too firm on it because the blue one at the back is very much in play too.
A dead draw, just keep his hand. You just want to see exactly where that jack is nestling between those two balls.
I think Stephen might just elect to go quite deep here, which means, you know, Iain has to be really cautious about how he plays.
Yeah, it's interesting. He's got the best back one already. So you're suggesting if he comes again a little bit deeper.
Yeah, absolutely. When the angles look, I can't really see it from here, but I don't know if the blue ball can be popped clean out without moving the jack. I'm not sure. Couple of opportunities for Iain. Something very similar to his last would yield the shot. In fact, even if he was on the narrow side and the green ball to the left of the picture straightened him up, that might just pop the blue one out. Equally, there's a shot on the other side just to drop underneath his own or promote his own onto the blue ball and also take it out the head. He's got a couple of chances. I think even if he plays it and he's firm, Paul, I think the jack to the back of the rink, I don't think he's any worse off.
I agree, that's why I was surprised with Stephen's last ball. It was a bit of a nothing burger in the end, really. He knows that himself.
Yeah, Iain moving to the forehand.
I think he's going to try and play what you suggested, nip the green ball across onto blue.
Yeah, I think that's on. It's very close. But he's got the ball clean out with it perfectly.
Oh, that's tremendous
ball.
And therein lies the danger. Takes a special player to play that kind of shot. And unfortunately for Stephen McLellan, he's up against said special player.
Yeah, he played it perfectly, didn't he? But you know, he didn't have a lot of risk. You know, if the jack moved to the back of the rink, he was no worse than one down. He was one down anyway. Held a fairly commanding lead, but as it is, you know, perfectly executed ball. Pushes the blue one out the head. Yields a 3, moves into a 14-3 advantage.
Well, if you're just joining us here on the live stream, McLean going for a record 4th title. He has 3. 2013, 2015, again in 2024. Robert Sprott, David Dow, Joseph Black and Anna Burnett have all got 3 Gents National Singles titles. If you get a chance, go into the Bowl Scotland website and have a look down the list of winners. It is a real who's who of Scottish bowls.
correction from Iain. So, this is a good effort. Quite well weighted again. Two. Stephen excuse me, Stephen needs to arrive on this. Missed the line.
He let that go slightly differently.
Yeah, you could see out the hand there was a bit of a grimace. He didn't really like it.
You change your hand and come to those two blue balls?
Yeah, you could. I think. I mean, that's on. Definitely, that's on. Iain may elect to run for cover. You know, those two shots move him to 16. He may elect to go deep on the forehand. Show Stephen the respect he deserves. And if he gets contact on it, then there's every chance the back ball would wind up the shot. That's exactly where he... Well, I think that's where he was going. Or was he trying to draw a shot? Who knows?
I'm with you, I think he was trying to go slightly further behind.
See Stephen, he's thinking, is he thinking to go quick?
Now what's going to scatter here? Well,
It's killed the end. Killed the end. That's going to come in the door of the commentary box, I think.
it's not the way it was drawn up in his head, but we have a third burnt end. Well, Colin, I think we agree on quite a few things. There are one or two things that we disagree on. To me, the only good burnt ends are the ones you get in a good barbecue restaurant in America. That's it. I would spot, if you burn the end, there's a spot where it goes and you go from there. Obviously, burnt ends tend to irritate me slightly. I know you've got a slightly different take.
Yeah, the respotted jacks have been in the game for quite some time now, and I think originally they were probably brought in to try and manage time in games as much as anything else. I do think that maybe I'm a bit more of a traditionalist. I think the idea of reset, start again, and the advantage of perhaps having a big drive shot in your armoury brings a bit of excitement to the game. Jacks flying all over the place, restart. I've been involved in numerous games where you go to the last end, you're looking for a 3 or a 4, and you get the opportunity to burn the end and start again, and that can be quite exciting to watch. That, I think, the respotted jacks, yes, it has a place in the game, absolutely, and it's in more and more. But does it make the game a bit sterile? I don't know.
Well, I quite like the tactics that it brings. It's a bit like as another good ball comes in from you can't have 6 bouncers and an over. In cricket, you'll get called for that. You've got to use it well. Perhaps you can nominate occasionally when it's the spots to burn an end. I quite like that idea that you've got a couple of chances to do it, but it just, to me, it lengthens the game too much.
Yeah, perhaps, and your idea there. And we're discussing rule changes here in some ways, but
absolutely.
But your idea there of a bit like you see some games in Australia now where you get a power play. So maybe you get the chance to have 3 killed ends in a game. for example, or 2, you know,
Yeah.
something like that, where you can use it probably to your advantage, more so probably in later stages of a game. So
Well played.
yeah, well played.
Yeah, I think it brings a different style of tactic
Yeah.
to it.
So if the rule makers are listening, then Paul and I are perhaps suggesting that we have that when games involve respotted jacks, then maybe you get 2 chances to kill the end.
When we're in charge, it will all change. Gets a little bit of fortune there, but he was up. He knew what he could do.
I think that was always in play, Paul. I think that's a percentage play for Iain.
Now it's going to come back.
I think he's just overplayed it.
Oh, he has. He's going to find both gaps as well. Yeah, it was a very well controlled shot from Iain McLean. He knew what the possibilities were. And he picks up a couple. Yeah, I think we'll open up a new slot on it on the Facebook, just entitle it "When We Rule the World," and we'll see what changes we could make.
I've just had a personal message there from someone who's on the World Bowls Rules Committee that says, "I'm listening."
Ah, good.
He hasn't said whether he likes it or not.
No, but it's all about opinions, isn't it? We've not really seen it probably, and he's not really needed it, but I think to be successful to that level you need all the shots, don't you? And that includes the drive. Some people, I know when I first started playing, you know, and driving started to become a little bit more trendy, if you like, it was frowned upon as an unskilled shot. It's anything but.
No, it's a great shot to have in your armoury. You know, and all the top players have it to a greater or lesser degree. You know, some will go very, very quick. You know, others will be more controlled. It's a shot definitely for, you know, when you've got youths coming through. It's the shot that they all want to play. They all want to kind of, you know, play that power play. But trying to educate them that, you know, you don't, you know, it's accuracy over power. Yeah. It's fine being able to throw a ball at, you know, whatever speed, but if you miss the target every time, then it's no use to you. So accuracy first, power second. So a nice head of balls developing here. Unfortunately for Stephen, it's Iain who is once again in first.
Wants to come down and have a little look at this just to get the lie, just to see how far the blue one's in front. Trying to come round, pushing it on, looking on.
Stephen can hold and get that plant in the front. That could yield on the shot, and it has.
That is really well played. And of course he's got that blue ball at the back as well.
You know, Iain has an opportunity, I think, down the forehand side. If he can get the split on the 2 balls to the left of the jack, then I feel that'll pop the blue one out. So, bit of pace down the forehand side. I have to turn it 3 or 4 times out. Probably have another go at that.
Actually, something catching his eye. So he's set to go again.
Did well to stop himself there, to be honest.
It's a good catch to be. Is he out? Because he caught himself. Here he comes.
Oh, this is close. I think he's just under for a perfect contact. Yeah, he was.
Well, it's not far away whatsoever.
Yeah, this is kind of fraught with.
I was going to say you're lying one. Try and find a second.
There's a safer shot down the backhand side, perhaps. I think if he plays the forehand, he's probably catch the outside plant and give the shot away. Down the backhand, he's got a chance just under his blue bowl to sit Iain's green one away for 2, or alternatively just round it and add for 2. So safer side, I think. Yeah, I'm not sure he was really committed to that.
No, I'm not convinced either. But it gets another shot on the board. So just to talk about the burnt ends just for another moment or two. So somebody suggests again, a couple of messages come out. Equivalent in sport, you get two serves for tennis, you get a second chance to do something. The point being, you can watch an end of balls that might take 5 or 10 minutes and you get a no result kind of thing.
Yeah, I guess.
I think that's possibly mine. And then depending, it can add 30, 40 minutes to the game sometimes.
Yeah, I think that's it. But in some ways, what's the objective? Is the objective to complete the game, with on the set number of ends, or is it to limit the time to suit either the tournament or whatever? I don't know. I think it's a great discussion point.
Yeah.
And everybody will have an opinion on whether they like respotted jacks or not. I think where it becomes a challenge is when you reach the last end or the second last end, and you're really looking to save the game, and it can become evident after 2 or 3 balls that what you're looking for is almost impossible. In which case, all you're doing really is just playing balls out for no reason whatsoever. So, I think in the latter stages of games, then maybe there's something that could be brought into the game when respots and burnt ends can sit alongside each other.
Yes, fair point. On the national competitions, indoors do play to respotted jacks now. Here we're looking at Iain McLean looking to advance to round number 2. It's not often you find yourself 16-4 down and you've not played that badly.
No, for sure. I mean, I don't think Stephen has played terribly badly. I do think his first 2 could have been better, and he would have expected them to be better as well. And that's really where the game's won and lost. But the game isn't lost because Iain's not reached the magic number. Just dipping away.
If you're going to beat a player of Iain's stature, you've played 2. Your third one's got to be on it. You've got to. Believe me, I'm not trying to say if people are worn out. I'm not saying I could do it. I'm saying it for the recipe to win.
You have to match him on the first 2 balls.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. If you don't match good players, regardless of whether it's Iain or anybody else in the tournament, if you don't match the first 2, you are immediately under pressure. It's unusual to win singles games by constantly playing yourself out of trouble with 3rd and 4th deliveries. Okay, not saying it doesn't happen, because it does.
It does.
But that consistency with your first 2 lead balls is vital.
I need the weight just to come through.
this out in an interesting line, but I don't think he's pushed through it enough.
Yeah, like it was interesting to see where that was going to finish, but it is just a single. So far so good for Iain McLean. Settled into a nice rhythm. He's chopped just 3 of the ends. If I'm Stephen McLellan, I think the first target here is to try and get to 7. I think if you can get over that mark, it never looks so bad.
Yes, again, we've talked about this earlier on in the week in the commentary. It's small goals now. As you say, 7. If you get to 7, your target's 10, and then keep trying chipping away. Better first one. Picked a nice line down that hand. Looks to have matched it with reasonable weight, just pulling up a little short. So I haven't said this very often, but it's a chance for Stephen to add another.
I think he didn't want to do that. The green ball, I think, just put him off in the front, just forced him a little bit wider.
If Iain can slot another one into the area, then very quickly that blue ball is looking very lonely.
Big ball coming here.
About weight.
He's played it.
That stops any nonsense in terms of Iain looking to take the blue ball out for 4. I'm sure we'll see him change his side, try and come down the ditch side, set the blue ball, or even turn the jack round the corner for a couple. Should go. Yeah, it has. So you talked about the target being 7.
Yep.
So here's an opportunity to get exactly there in one end. His line's decent.
Just on that. Still, it's worth a little smile and to pick up the 2. At 3:30, our live stream will continue. Ladies singles first round tie. Leslie Doig against Emma Mitchell. Should be a fair old battle. Does he get the long length of jack that he was looking for? make no mistake this time. That's the first time we've been at this length for a while, so that's not a bad start.
So finish well, I feel. Slightly on the wide side. Good weight.
So blue lie 1.
It just needs to run to add 1.
Well, as Iain McLean has asked, the marker can go in and have a look.
This looks a better line from Iain. And a better weight too. Well played. How's your weight on that line, Stephen? Just spinning away.
Actually worked better for him, like he must make it, he was going to half it and move it into 2.
Set this out in a good line again. It's looking like a pretty good weight to me. Well played, Iain McLean.
That's pretty perfect. Now moves to just within 2 shots of victory. Well, so far it has been pretty routine for the defending champion.
Sticking with his forehand. Stephen's just nipped the line again with this one.
So Iain has a look here. Does he just continue to play that, or the slightly more open hand? The danger is you move the blue ball that's on the left hand side as you look at the screen.
I think if he plays the forehand with good weight, I think he'll just drop under his own front one and drop in for two. As you say, alternatively he does have the open side should he wish to play it, but I think he'll stick with a four. That's the first proper look at the finish line he's had. Can he drop round that ball? Just overplayed.
Just checking, but it is one against.
He's picked a pretty good line. Needs a contact.
Doesn't quite get there.
Iain turns round and goes to collect the mat.
One shot from victory. And he has been very, very steady. Advertising from the mat, but there is space.
Got to be the length at this stage. Bends, it's going to be very close at the finish. Yeah, that can't look good.
And your own front one as well is not particularly going to help. Let's see what he can do.
It's not bad, you know. Yeah, got the shot. Well played. Well done. That's a better line from Iain. He's quick enough. He's got the jack.
How about
Perfectly
that?
played. Perfectly played.
It's a match light.
Stephen just going to change and come down the other side. Just getting a little bit of disturbance at the back of the rink, I think. Here's your luck.
Well, that third ball has changed at all. See what he does here, and then it's all down to the man from Wellington Park.
I'll just try and draw another, to be honest. He holds first and second. It's just pulling up a little bit short, so this is it. Ball to stay in. Choosing to go quick. How's your luck? Not enough.
Well, it wasn't to be, but he found himself up against the defending champion and quickly got himself into good form. And really the first two balls was the tail of the game. Solid and steady from Iain McLean. And Stephen McLellan didn't have any answer. Played a couple of good conversion shots early doors after having missed one or two. And he'll be happy with some of the shots that he played, but he was simply outplayed this afternoon.
Yeah, that's for sure. I think Iain was the better player on the day. I'm sure Stephen will be a bit disappointed with his performance. Glimpses certainly of what he's capable of in there, but just not the consistency that was required on the day, and it's Iain who marches into round two.
We'll take a short break, but we'll be back with live coverage of the 2025 Bowl Scotland National Championships. We'll have the ladies singles first round tie, Leslie Doig against Emma Mitchell. We look forward to being back with you.